Hello everyone and welcome to the lecture on service quotas. And this is not the official logo for service quotas. Actually, service quotas does not have any official AWS logo. So this is just a generic logo. So this lecture will contain all these topics. What is service quotas? Terminology, getting started, and quota increase statuses. So what is service quotas? Service quotas allows you to see and handle your service limits for AWS from one place. Every AWS service sets its own quotas, which are initially set to default values. You might need to ask for a higher service quota if the default limit does not cover all your business requirements. AWS can fully approve, deny, or only partially approve the service quota increase request. The Service Quotas console offers quick access to default quota values and shows if the quota can be adjusted at the account level, which is at the AWS account level. Applied quotas are overrides or increase over the default. In the console, you can select a service and a specific quota to request and increase, which can be adjusted either at the account or at the AWS resource level. It takes time to review, process, and approve quota increases. Service quota increase request can also be submitted through API operations or AWS CLI tools. Once your account is active, you can also view the utilization of resources through a graph. So next I will cover all the terminology. So first we have, as I talked about, service quota, which is the maximum number of service resources or operations. It can be API operations for an AWS account or a AWS region. Examples include IAM roles per account, which is account based, and VPCs per region, which is region based. So you can check the description to determine if a quota is region specific. So if you go to the service quotas console, you can see based on the description, you will figure out. Then adjustable value, which is a quota value that can be increased. Applied quota, the updated quota value after a quota increase. Default value, the initial quota value established by AWS. Global quota, a service quota applied at an AWS account level. Global quotas are available in all AWS regions. You can request an increase to a global quota only from US East, North Virginia for public AWS partition. AWS Gulf Cloud US West for AWS Gulf Cloud US regions, and China Beijing for AWS China region. So basically there are three options. So for all services, 99% of the time you will, or more than 90%, you will be going to US East 1 North Virginia region. Gulf Cloud specific to US Gulf Cloud, and if you are entity within China or you are logging in from China region, you will be going to this particular China Beijing region. Usage, the number of resources or operations in use for a service quota. Utilization, the percentage of a service quota in use. For example, if the quota value is 200 resources and 150 resources are in use, then the utilization is 75%. Quota context info, a structure describing the context for resource level quotas. For example, with EC2 instances per OpenSearch service domains, quotas can be applied at the resource level per domain. This helps you understand how AWS implements quotas and how to manage them. Context ID, this specifies a resource or resources to which the quota applies. The value for this field is either an Amazon resource name ARN, or if the value is an ARN, the quota value applies to that resource. If the value is then the quota value applies to all resources of that specific type. Context scope, this specifies the scope to which the quota value is applied. Context scope type, this specifies the resource type to which the quota can be applied. Quota applied at level, so this one, this is a filters and API filters and API response to return quota applied quota values at either the account level, resource level, or all at all levels. So basically this is at level, basically quota applied at level, and there are 3 levels. Then quota requested at level. So filters an API response to return quota request at either the account level, resource level, or all levels. So how to get started? So you sign into AWS console, you open the service quotas console, you navigate to the AWS services, then you choose a service from a list or you search. And then you will see if this quota is adjustable or not. So I'll just cover no first because it's easier. So if this cannot be increased, if there is a hard limit, so you cannot request increase. But if it is yes, then you check the quota adjustability level at, so it can be AWS account level or resource level. So first I'll cover AWS account level. So for example, IAM roles, let's say how many IAM roles you can have. So you select quota from a list, you request increase at account level, and you submit request. Let's say you want to increase the IAM roles. Then you view request in request history. So it can be pending or quota requested. And let's say it is at the resource level, let's say VPCs per region. So you use the quota name, select the specific resource, for example VPC. You request increase at the resource level, you enter a new value greater than the current value. And here also you request a new value which is greater than the current value, and you submit request. And you can see the request status in the request history. And then finally we have quota increase statuses. So first we have pending. So quota increase request is under review by AWS. Next we have case opened, which is service quotas has opened a support case to process the request. Third is approved, which is here, and quota increase request is approved. Next it can be rejected. So case opened or it can be rejected. Request cannot be approved by service quotas. So you have to contact support for more details. And then you have case closed here. So the supported case associated with request was closed, and you can view the support case correspondence for more information. It can be either approved or rejected. Also it can be case closed. And lastly we have request not valid. So service quotas cannot process your resource level quota increase request. The resource ARN specified as part of the context ID attribute is not valid. So this is very specific case, and it goes into technicalities, and this will so some cases it may not be valid. So you will see information by going to the status history. Okay, and apart from that, you can see the requested quota value, the increased quota value you requested for the quota, and the request date, the date you requested the quota increase, and last updated date, the last date the request received, and update. And that's all. Thanks for watching.